Your brain has been kidnapped. In fact, every single time you have engaged in any activity where you became passive, you were passively given orders, you were told what to believe, you were entertained by someone else, you adopted the thoughts of another person without researching the facts yourself. These are all signs that your brain has been actually kidnapped by other people or other sources. And in a day where our devices are so much a part of our life, we become very passive as we receive information through our devices, whether it's TV, iPad, tablets, phones, all sorts of different networks. We receive that information, and if we are not interacting with it, really interacting with that information, having an internal dialogue, talking to other people about it, looking at other sources of information, a particular topic, then our brain is being kidnapped by the propaganda they're giving. And whether their propaganda is factual or not, it is not really our information if we just go along with whatever someone else is giving us. So the next time you let someone think for you or entertain you or do it for you or order you, telling you what to believe, feel, think, and function as, remind yourself that you have just sold your brain into slavery of sorts. You've allowed your brain to be kidnapped. Now, in order to recapture your brain, to bring it back to you so that you're in charge of your brain, you reclaim your brain, you can become a student. And perhaps you already are a student, but not a student that passively listens to a teacher and then decides what's on the test and memorizes the data and then forgets all of it right after the test. But instead, you reclaim your brain when you actively engage in learning, memorizing, focusing, concentrating, creating ideas or things, motivating yourself, planning, executing, or visualizing. And that is you participating in you doing your own learning. If you are an athlete, you want to recapture your brain so that you become, in a sense, your own major self-coach. Yes, you listen to what the coaches are telling you, their expertise, and the fact that they can see you from a distance when all you can see is from inside your own movements. But ultimately, you have to be your own coach that takes the best of what they offer and then drills it into your own brain in whatever way you need to drill yourself. It is when that you engage your brain as an athlete that you can release the negative self-talk or the negative statements that other people make and begin to practice your own messages that enhance your practice during, before, and after. You want to be able to deliberately interface your brain with the way your muscles and your sensations function. You want to be able to deliberately interface the movements of your body with what you visualize and what the musculature of your body is associated to those movements. But you must do it deliberately, not as if you're not present. Now, that means also, of course, preparing your cardiovascular and respiratory system as well as the muscles themselves by whatever repetitive training you need to do. And during the time you're doing that repetitive training, to do the self-coaching and the self-talking recaptures your brain back into the activity that you are doing with deliberation. And perhaps during that time, you are motivating yourself. Perhaps during that time, you are converting negative self-talk into positive statements. Perhaps during that time, you are rehearsing over and over and over the skill sets that are essential for you to be optimizing yourself as an athlete. In addition, you're also helping your mind, your body, your soul unify into a kind of zone, the zen of being able to perform at a level where you are automatic in the most efficient way you possibly can be because you have trained yourself to be automatic. And no one else actually can do that for you. So that as an athlete, when you engage in the process, you recapture your brain back. And you can also convert your anxieties about your performance into energies. You can convert your fear into not feeling the pressure about performance, but rather the exhilaration and the burst of energy that comes in your ability to train well and perform optimally. In addition, every time you engage in feeling stress, anxiety, tension, fear, worry, scared, you have robbed yourself, or rather let other individuals rob you of your own brain power, because you are feeling as if you are a victim to the circumstances and that you are unable to do anything about what's taking place. And in essence, the stress is a sign that your brain and your deliberate capacity to do something has been robbed from you. And this, of course, captures all of the incidences associated to traumatic moments and events when actually you probably were not in control. We see this with soldiers, victims of sexual abuse, or individuals that have suffered physical and verbal abuse. And of course, those times when nature or man-made disasters come upon you and you're not in control. And thereafter, if you're always feeling stress, anxiety, worry, fear, tension, or even paranoia, it is likely because you have forgotten to reclaim your brain as your own territory to dominate. So during these times of stress, remember that you have engaged in self-doubt. You're probably cycling into a panic. You have these emotional roller coasters that you're taking very seriously. Or perhaps you're dealing with life changes that feel overwhelming. And of course, don't forget those physiological complications associated to hormones, malnutrition, drugs, toxic drinking, or sleeplessness. If you hate your job, your schedule, your responsibilities, or not liking your relationships, then you are going to aggravate your stress and you're going to lose your ability to claim your brain and your decisions and your actions and your emotions as your very own. During the 2-hour brain empowerment program, we are going to introduce you to well over 10 exercises and 7 different devices that can help you re-engage your wonderful relationship with your brain so that you can remember that you are in charge of being you. This is Dr. Carol Francis. I look so forward to working with you.